Well, hello, friends, and welcome back. Just for today, I would like to take a break from Christmas cards, please. I've been working on my own. I think I have a whopping total of 20 that are done. So I just need a little break before I continue on with my personal Christmas cards. And I wanted to do something universal that can be used. Doesn't matter the occasion. It can be sympathy, thank you, whatever. And I am going to make this a thank you card today. Now, I've had this for some time, and oddly enough, I haven't used the stamps very much at all. But this was recently released from Gina K Designs, and it's called Delicate Flowers. Love this stamp set. Love the sentiments that are in here. It is so pretty. And along with the stamps, you can get the dies. And there's even dies to cut out every one of the sentiments, which, you don't always get that. And I thought that was amazing. And you have stencils, dies, and the only thing, in my opinion, that is missing is an embossing folder. But that's okay. That's all right. It's not really a set made to have an embossing folder go with it. But here are the dies. And as you can see, all the sentiment dies are in here. Your flower, your foliage, your leaves, everything. It's all there. And I'm just going to go ahead and leave that out because we're going to need them here in just a little bit. The only other thing that you can get to coordinate with this that I am aware of, she does have a big set of polyglaze foiling sheets. Do you see what I have left out of this pack? That's it. That's all I have left except for the sentiments. Look at all the sentiments you get. I can't even put this whole sheet in the frame. And they're gorgeous. And yes, I did foil one of them, the So Very Grateful. But I think I'm going to do something different for the sentiment in today's video. So hang in there with me. This is part of a 2 stencil set from Honeybee. I don't even know if it is available. I've had it for a while. Garden Lattice. And so you have the bigger diamonds, and then you have the smaller diamonds. And just for today, all I want to use is just this one to make a little bit of a background before we start building with our die cuts and all this good stuff. I've already gone and foiled most everything. So here is one flower. I have a few sets of leaves. Not sure if I'm going to use these, but I wanted to go ahead and do some extras of those. And I do have, well, getting my stuff out of order. I do have also these 2 branches, and they curve. They're so cute. And you could just do a card with these and put a sentiment in the middle and call it done. I love the genius that goes into everything she designs or has designed and sold. The sentiment I'm going to use, isn't that adorable? And if I can hold it just right, I heat embossed it with the clear embossing powder just to kind of raise it up. I did cut 2 layers of cardstock. The top layer, the cardstock, was relatively thin, and I cut another layer out of my opaque cardstock that I love so much, just to give that a little bit of heft. I wasn't really going for dimension as more as I was stability. Now, speaking of Honeybee, let me tell you, and I got my little cheat sheets written over here. Honeybee is having a clearance sale. They have stamps from $1, stencils from $1.99, a 2-pack of their brushes. Look at these. I love them, and I've got more on the way. A 2-pack is like $3.99. Aren't they gorgeous? So blendably soft. Ah, love it. Now, they also have a stamp set that was a Kelly Taylor design. I don't know how I missed that. It was designed and released back in 2023. When I say back in 2023, it really wasn't that long ago. And I went and looked at it. It's beautiful. So you get the dies for free on the poinsettia and pine cone, and that's the name of the set, if you purchase a poinsettia and pine cone stamp set. Now, there's a lot of dies. It's a $32 pack of dies that you'll get for free with that stamp set. And it's gorgeous. You've got your pine needles and your pine cones. You've got the pretty poinsettia flower. You have sentiments. It's, I don't know how I overlooked that or was not aware of that, you know. I wish I could watch everybody's videos all the time, but I just can't. I can't. But anyway, they have got some amazing deals going on over there. And let me put a bug in your ear. I am not an affiliate with Honeybee. I am not yet an affiliate with any of these wonderful stamping companies. Maybe one day that will change. I hope so. But in the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go pull Wendy Cranford's affiliate link to Honeybee. That will be the link I use for Honeybee in my description below. So if you don't have any loyalties to another card maker, you know, and you want to take advantage of that clearance sale, please do use her link and help support her. She works really, really hard, and she does so much. And I am now in a habit, before I order from certain companies, I go to her blog at lovinstampin.com. I hit the About button, and then companies that I love and the ones that she's an affiliate with, if I'm ordering from that company, like I know she's an affiliate with Waffle Flower, I believe she is also for like Hero Arts, scrapbook.com. There's a handful in there, and I'm doing my best to go and use her links too to help support her, okay? The thanks sentiment came from Lawn Fawn Big Scripty Word Bundle, and there are 11 dies that go with this set. You get all 6 of the sentiments, and you get 2 sets of little birds. Some are standing, some are flying, and you get an exclamation mark if you want to use that. So here is the stamp set, and I put the dies to line up. So congrats, happy birthday, thanks, love ya, big hugs. And then here are the little birds and the exclamation point. Thought that was so, so cute. I love this set. I don't use it enough. I'll link to this if I can find it on their site. I've had this for a while, so I don't know. I didn't look it up before getting on screen. Now, Gina K's Polyglaze, you were able to use any of her foils, or you can also get these deco foils. ThermoWeb carries them. I think scrapbook.com carries them. There's several places that will carry these. These are not for hot foiling. And the reason why I'm holding 2 of these up, I ran out of my Gina K 14 karat. Did I think to order more? No, I didn't. So I got into my roll, and do you see what? I've just got a couple of scraps left. And I thought, oh no, I think I want 2 flowers on my card. Now what am I going to do? So I found this, and I thought, well, isn't that the same thing? No, this one is called Champagne, and it's not quite as intense as the gold. Don't know if you can see that. And I thought, well, maybe it'll work. So I used a piece of the champagne on one of these. Can you tell which one I used that I substituted it with? Maybe. Only if you look really, really close. And once this card is done and put together, you're not going to be able to tell. It'll be fine, I promise. Now, I did leave one last piece of the champagne gold. This is the champagne gold, and you can compare it with the other gold. now that they're out of their package, now you can see the difference. You see a little bit of that tonality is different there. But when all's said and done, I think it'll be just fine. And I only left this one to put through my fuse by Gina K Designs, because a lot of you have seen this done time and time again. You don't really care to see a whole lot of it done. But when we get ready to do that here in just a minute, I wanted to show you a tip and a trick for a carrier sheet for whether you have just a regular laminator that you're using, or if you have the fuse or the mink or whatever you have. You know, sometimes I have been caught in the past without carrier sheets, and I will show you a very inexpensive, workable alternative for your foiling. So I have got my Distress Oxide Lost Shadow. I wanted a pale, pale gray. I thought about other earth tone type colors, other neutral colors, and I didn't really want browns or beige or anything like that. And so what I'm doing is I'm just going to take and just put little bits of this randomly in here. I'm not even sure by the time all is said and done how much of this is going to show, to be honest. So some of this is going to be really faint. Some of this is going to be a little darker. I'm okay with that. Maybe I should have taped the whole thing down. I was being lazy. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. Okay, I don't have, there we go. If y'all are ever wondering why I put a dot on the top right here, because that's where my label is. So when I stick it back into my tin, the Distress Oxide tin from Tim Holtz, I put that there so when I'm working like this, I know which way I need to put my label. It's maybe a little bit of OCD, but it's what I do. So we're going to put that to the side. I'm going to lift this up. I think we got plenty on here. I just wanted a little something here and there in the background. So I'm going to lift this up. I have a piece of mint tape I had folded up and put behind it. And I've got a paper towel here. I've been making sure my brushes were good to go. I'm going to spray it with a little bit of water and get this cleaned up. I'm going to have to find a different spray bottle. I did the other day. I ordered the Spellbinders Fine Mist bottle. Oh my heavens. Oh my heavens. I haven't used it yet in my card room, but I will. Love it. You want to find mist? That's the way to go. All right. I'm going to lay this carefully over to the side so I can rinse that later up under my sink. But for right now, I'm going to get it out of the way. And let me show you. Gina K no longer has this Radiant Roses set. Mine is not going anywhere. I don't know. Do you see that raised texture? It is much more intense in person. But this was a set that had the embossing folder and the coordinating stencil and the stamp set and the dies. I love this so much. So much. It's not going to leave my stash. But I won't be making a video with it either because you can't get the product anymore. So there's that. All right. I don't have my extension cord hooked up to my fuse. So it's kind of sort of in screen. There is an off and on button, if I can talk, right back here. I'm going to turn that on. You're not going to see anything happen until I do this. Okay. Well, I wanted it on 4, and so there it is. And it will heat up very quickly. And let's see here. So here's what I wanted to show you. I'll bring that back in camera before we run that flower through. This is just a sheet of regular parchment paper. And in my opinion, the brown parchment paper is wonderful for the craft room, but not so much for the kitchen. If you're going to use it in the kitchen, get the white organic part. Maybe this is the organic. This may be the organic. It's usually pretty much all I have in here. However, white, brown, doesn't matter. Use what you have. And I've cut this, and I've got just a piece of thin, it was stained cardstock, and I thought, well, I'm not going to throw that out. I'll use that for part of my carrier sheet because the parchment paper is so thin. But this stuff works wonders, and you can use it over and over and over until it starts to get those little deep wrinkles in it. At that point, yes, I would toss it and get a piece that is not wrinkled. And every so often, you will have to do that. And so we're going to bring back in this polyglaze flower. Last one I have, guys. It's the last one. Just going to wipe that off. I don't know if it really matters. Jennifer McGuire, I get so tickled at her. She doesn't do all this with the Swiffer and everything, and she never has any issues. So, once again, it's got to make you wonder, is it because of the climates we live in? Is it the areas we live in? Some people, yeah, did you hear that little faint beep? It just heated up. That did not take long at all. I'm just going to smooth that out. But honestly, I'm kind of afraid not to do the Swiffer because I have learned that Gina Kay knows what she's talking about. She truly does. And so if she recommends it, then that's what I've been doing. So, to each his own. If you don't feel like fooling with it and you're getting good results without doing it, then don't do it. But I'm I'm always nervous because obviously it did really well for me before filming this video. I was getting great results and I was using the Swiffer. So I don't want to mess with fate. I want to mess with it. All right. Now I'm going to turn this off and we're going to put this back out of the way. In fact, I have a little table that sits over here to the side. It has 3 levels and I tuck it up underneath. And it sits there very nicely until I need it again. All right. Isn't that pretty? Look at that. I don't see any. There might be a tiny, tiny bit right there missing. Was that because of a piece of dust? I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes I use 3. Sometimes I use 4 on my setting. To be very honest, if you're not using, like ThermoWeb carrier sheets have a thin layer of silicone in the inside, and I couldn't find mine. I don't know what I did with it, and once again, the hunt is on. And I found setting 3 is fine, but if you're using parchment paper and some thin cardstock for a shim, you might want to bump it up to 4. You know, if you run it through and you see you've not gotten good results on 3, you know, don't move your foil. Bump it up to 4 and then run it again if you're using parchment paper. And that may very well work for you. All right, I'm going to bring in my leaves. I have these leaves. And then there are these leaves that I think I'm going to do in a different color. And I'm not even sure if I'm going to use these. But I want a different color than what I do these with. And so before we die cut and get all our pieces ready, I'm taking Twisted Citron Distress Oxide. I'm using a combination of inks on this, on on this project today. Again, you know, it's taken me a little bit to get all my inks built up. I just started getting some Gina K inks, but I love my Distress Oxide too. I do. And I don't want to have to invest too much in a whole bunch of different inks. But there we go. Got that. And that's my light green for these leaves. And then I'm going to bring in some Rustic Wilderness. Let me bring in my little scrap of paper towel here. I'll rub some of that off. And then we're going to get a little bit of Distress Oxide Rustic Wilderness. And I just want to put a little something in there on them so they don't look quite so flat. There we go. There we go. It may not look like much right now. It kind of looks blobby, doesn't it? I think I want it a little bit darker at the base. There we go. I think that'll work. Gonna put that there. Some of your leaves are going to be a little bit longer, a little bit bigger. You may want to put a little bit more shading in yours. And it doesn't matter what your style is, because every time you do this, it's going to be a little different. Maybe your hair is parted different that day, or you didn't get up on the right side of the bed. Oh, is there a wrong side to get up? I never thought so. I always thought getting up and getting around was a feat in and of itself. So, oh, the things we say, the expressions that are in the English language. And I think that's one thing that makes English so very hard for people. You know, I'm going to try something here. I'm going to go very lightly. That's almost like a Twisted Citron, but not quite. So let's go back to Twisted Citron. Let me just kind of rub that off a little bit. Oh, that's good. That's good. And let's get a little Twisted Citron going here for our base. Then we'll go back to the Rustic Wilderness, get that shading put in there. All right. That one's may not have as much as some of the others, but that's the beauty of having, the tonality of your ink blending. Not everything is going to look the same. Now, if you have some pre-done ephemera or something that you've bought, yeah, you know, it's all going to be uniform. And that's okay, too. Nothing wrong with that. All right, for these, if we use them, and I don't know, I'm bringing in Gina K Ocean Mist. Y'all saw me use this, I believe it was just last week. So I'm going to, some Ocean Mist. And again, these are the honeybee brushes. And I do have more on the way. And I don't know that I'm going to use, I thought maybe I would use that turquoise sea for some shading. But honestly, I think that's just fine. I think just that one color will do it. And I'm still on camera, yay. Hooray. I haven't replaced my overhead light fixture yet. There's just been so much going on, guys. So much going on. I am right in the middle. Going to put a little extra. Now, how that's actually going to look when it's die cut, but some of it will have a little bit of tonality. So that's something you can do. When you're limited on inks like I am, you can take that one color and go in real light and then go in darker. Boom, you've got two colors of ink. All right, I've got that and that, and that. Now, where's my, I need my flower. And again, I think I'm going to try to get away with Gina K's Medium Carnation. I love how firm her lids fit. Love it. So I've got a clean brush here. It's stained, but it's clean. And I'm going to start right in the very middle, and I'm going to apply quite a bit of pressure. But then I'm going to lighten my grip. And one way you can do that too, if you tend to be heavy-handed, and I do, just kind of come back on your handle a little bit, and it won't allow you to put too much pressure. You have to work harder at it to get it in there that way. Now I am going to get it a little deeper. Okay, now I'm going to go back lightly and just blend and blend. All right. Getting there, getting there. Now, I also have these, and I'm not sure if I'm going to use them. What I do want to do is I'm going to double back to my Rustic Wilderness. Because even if we don't use them on today's cards, we can use them elsewhere. Now, the only leaves showing are these two down here. The rest of them are solid and filled in. And I'm just going to do them straight up Rustic Wilderness. No, I don't want to get that up there. Okay. All right. Doesn't have to be real heavy. Boy, I almost got into the other, didn't I? Almost. See if I can do a better job this time of keeping that right there. It's just a scrap of cardstock I had. Probably originally was saving it for a skinny sentiment, and that just never happened, so. Okay. If you've never done this kind of thing before, after you have, and you definitely want to do your ink blending and your foiling before you die cut. Once you die cut, your foiling is probably not going to come out very well. Not very well at all. Alright, what I'm doing here is I am rubbing over the top of the foil to remove any of the ink that was sitting on top, and this paper towel's about had it. This one here is somewhat clean, so again I'm going to do that on these leaves. And I don't know if you can tell a difference because that gold is just so pretty. I can tell a difference in real life. You may not be able to. And I want this one. Okay, got that, got that. Got that. Now, I don't really see that much on my paper towel. However, I'm going to fold it to a new area and work on this flower. Where'd that other flower go we just did? Ah, and I didn't even get it ink blended. All right, let's do that real quick. I wasn't going to start wiping off from the top of the foiling until I had everything done. And then I kind of got ahead of myself. Now this one's a lot lighter than this one. And it's okay that there is some tonality there. However, if there's too much of a difference, it might look kind of funny. So we're just going to go deeper in the middle. And then I'm going to come back. Just extend that out softly. All right, there we go. Now we're good. Sorry about that, guys. Y'all don't ever do that, do you? Get the cart before the horse. I do it all the time. All right, let me refold this to a new area since I'm doing a different color here. And we'll get that and that. All right. Now we're going to get ready and start die cutting all of our pieces. And I'm still debating, do I go ahead and pause the video while I'm doing all the die cutting? Probably. I'll do a little bit and then I'll pause the video and then we will finish up. I am bringing in my Gina K Intracut. And lower the flaps. Start the engine. And I do have my magnetic base with my magnetic mat, my top plate. And let's see how many things we can get on here at one time. I'm not sure. We're going to see what we can do for a single run. Let me see. I've got one leaf there, one here, one here. I have two leaves here. I don't know. Do I have something smaller I can put in there? Yeah, I can put one of those. I'm not sure if I have two dies to do two of those at one time. Don't think I do. So, there's that one. Here is this one. Here is the outline for that one. And yeah, I'm not going to be able to do that. That's okay. That's all right. So, because I have this magnetic mat, and I feel pretty good about using it because this is not like extra thick cardstock, I'm not going to worry about any of it shifting. I'm going to run this through, and then yes, once you see the first cutouts, I will then, I got to tweak that, I will then pause the camera until I have it all done, and then we'll come back together and start assembling. I do not have any idea how I want to do this on my card. I do not. Alright, I am really off kilter there. Of course, I'm doing this at an angle away from me, so that's not helping me. Whoops. Need that right there. Need this sketched over a little bit. Alright, it's the angle. Sometimes you just have to really re-angle to get everything to want to line up. It's not her dies, guys, I promise. Okay. There we go. That ought to be good. And this little dot I have on this die lines up with the little dot that I have. And why is my camera not wanting to focus? On the stamp, so that I know where it's going to line up. But that doesn't help me with the polyglaze sheet, because I don't, now I say it doesn't. Alright, let me look here. This is probably the most extreme. Let's see what I have here. There it goes. There it goes. You just gotta look. See where your reference points are. Here we go. It's almost there, it's almost there. Okay. Okay. I think I'm okay. Alright, that looks pretty good. Let me very carefully angle in my plate. Lay that down. I'm really nervous about that leaf. I don't want that to move. And of course, I've got it set for die cut. Okay. There we go. Let's see what we have here. I'm going to go ahead and move this out of the way for the moment. I have got my camera up as far as I can get it and still see whether or not I'm in camera. So, not sure how I'm going to find a solution to where I can raise that up even more. Just not sure how I'm going to be able to do that. So here's the die. I'll need that again. Here's the, oh, I think it moved. How bad does that look? Oh my goodness, that came out really well. Yeah, that's fine. Although, it's a little white right there on the end. So I'm just going to take just a little bit of color so that doesn't look quite so. There we go. Alright, get that little bit of ink up. So we're good there. I'll need that again. I want this one. Isn't that gorgeous, guys? Are y'all seeing these? How pretty. Now that it's cut out. Oh, I love that so much. Oh, I do. Okay, and I'm going to need that again. All right, guys, at this point, I'm going to pause the video, finish the die cutting, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, last of the die cutting. I've got most of my pieces laying here. I'm really concerned that this one shifted. It may not have, but I was already on top of it, and I'm thinking, I don't know, I'm hoping it's the angle. I hope it didn't really shift. So let's see what we have here. Not bad. Could have been better. It's not bad. And I've got that going on right there, but that's okay because chances are a lot of that's going to be hidden anyway. I'm guessing, being that far down. All right, and I've got my dies over here on my magnetic sheet that came with the dies from Gina K. I'm going to get my brushes put away. And if I haven't lost it, once upon a time I had a card base, white, cut it 4 1/4 by 11 and scored it 5 1/2. And I've just gone ahead and matted on the inside with black and white. And we're going to have the exact same layers on the outside. Now, this black mat, it's the same for the inside. 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And here it is. And then the top white layer is 3 3/4 by 5. And so all I've done is put a skinny little border together. So, and I'm going to do, I think, a landscape card. That's kind of what I've been feeling. Let's see what we can put together. Okay. And am I straight all the way around? I think so. Got a little bit of ink right there. Let's just kind of take care of that before it gets to be an issue. Aren't these colors pretty together? I think so. I think they look nice together. Okay. And, oh man, did you hear that? It's sucking a little air. I'm guessing I need to get this refilled. I did get some more. I bought another 3-pack of Gina K fine tip bottles. So I can have as many as I want. Filled up, ready to go. There will be no excuse for me to totally run out of glue on screen. All right. You just kind of make sure that makes good contact. I did right before the video, I did wash this. This is not my biggest one. I should have done the biggest one, but that's okay. I'm just going to use that instead of my hands, but at least it's pretty. It's all clean and sparkly. All right, let's see what all we have here and what. Of course, the main focal images are going to be the 2 flowers. I got them stuck together. All right, so let's start with those. And I need to cap this off for the minute. There we go. Now, let's just start seeing what we can come up with. I love the fact that these are angled so that you can go either way you want to. We can have a little bit coming off, but I don't want too much coming off. Okay. I want this one kind of swooping down this way. Well, I'm losing a lot of that leaf, but I think that'll be okay. And let's tuck this one up in here. May want to tilt. Do I want to tilt it and just have one leaf coming out? I mean, I could. That seems a shame. Seems a shame to do that. Maybe we can curve it like that. Maybe. Maybe. Tell you what, I want to make sure that I can get all of that leaf, so I'm going to lower this one. There we go. Now we're within the borders, and I think that would be okay. And do we want to add maybe some extra foliage? Come here, you. Some extra foliage coming out, peeking with that pretty color of ocean mist. Do we want that? There. Oh my goodness, I overthink this stuff so bad. I bet some of you guys have that issue too. I bet you do. Okay, now this is just for general purposes here. I'm not sure exactly how we're going to end up. And then I noticed that I had not ink blended both of these. Do we want to bring these in and get rid of the leaves? I don't think so. I don't even think I'm going to use these on this card. Okay. So what do you guys think? Think this is a go for what we've got going on here? I don't think it looks too bad. I think that looks pretty festive. So, is everything exactly where I want it? Am I good? It's okay if that's coming up over the flower, although, let me see how it looks. If it isn't, that might be a little better. Do I have good motion, fluidity, whatever you want to call it, with my leaves here? Are they getting along like little happy campers? I see part of that stem sticking out. I don't want that. And let's get a hold of this one and bring that a little differently. What do we think? Is that a win? I'm going with it. I have got a piece of press and seal that has been used one time, so it's still got quite a bit of stick. And I'm going to lay this down, give it a little massage. Oh my. Oh, I am so glad I went. I wasn't sure how that was going to look. I really was not sure how that might look. So, I should have done the hinge method like Kelly Taylor teaches. Well, I guess I kind of sort of did. Didn't mean to. That wasn't my intention because I'm not in the habit of doing it. Okay, so while we have everything down here, I'm just going to start dotting it with the glue. We're almost done, guys. We're in the home stretch. We are. And I don't want this smooth. Make sure my edges are all filled in. And I may have to go back when all is said and done and tack down a couple of layers with a little bit of extra glue. And with these fine tip glue bottles, it is not a problem. Not a problem. Yeah, see, I really hadn't planned on that being a hinge method. Put a little bit more right there. Okay. I'm going to bridge where that leaf is up underneath there. Hopefully that will Oh, I swear if I can talk today. So in the morning I go to the chiropractor, and then I come home and start painting. Now, I only have to go once a week. Howsoever, it could be. I may end up going Friday. While y'all are watching this video, I may be at the chiropractor again. Maybe. All right. Let me pick this up. Scoot this back over here. And let me look. See, with the hinge method, this would have been so much easier. Just to make real sure, but I think I'm pretty good here. Okay. I'm going to lay all that down. Again, like I said, because of the layers of the foliage, like I may have to go up underneath these leaves and other areas, maybe these, to make sure everything is stuck down. And it makes me nervous doing this when I've done foiling, because I'm always so afraid the foiling is going to pull up. But maybe not. So I'm very careful. Don't go too fast. I'm not seeing any foil on my cling wrap here. Press and seal, not cling wrap. Two different things. Yay! Awesome. Now I'm going to kind of straighten this back out. And I have a protected place over here I can lay it and nothing will mess with it. All right, so far, so far. Now, let me hold it up before we put the greeting on. And can you see just little hints of that in the background? I was afraid to do an embossed background. And I thought about getting out one of Gina K's. She has got like a lattice background. It's polyglaze, so you could foil it. And I thought, that might be too much foil. And then, if we put that kind of right in the middle, what do you think, guys? Do we want it down here on the bottom? I kind of feel like it gets lost, almost like it was an afterthought. And I'm really not used to doing it in the upper left. Really not. It's funny how we get in our habits. How about over here? I'm not sure how that's looking. That's not bad. Okay, let me try it kind of in the middle again. Let's look at it for a second. For me, that's a little bit more traditional. However, that doesn't look too bad either. But I'm afraid it's too much right there because we've got all these leaves down here. So, I'm afraid the sentiment might get lost. Let's just go ahead. I'm just gluing it down, guys. I'm getting to where a few things I will pop up. But if I'm thinking I'm going to mail it and I'm thinking this one is getting mailed, I would just soon not have to pay extra postage if I don't have to, and still deliver to them a pretty card. There we go. A pretty card that is not to be ashamed of. That is still really pretty. I'll bring this down. Lay this on here. But I'll put a link in the description below to everything I used. With the honeybee stencil and the Lawn Fawn big scripty words. If it comes as a bundle, I'll link it as a bundle. I'll also link the stamp set separately and the dies separately. It may be that all you want's the dies. That's totally up to you. Or just a stamp set. Alright, guys. Now, I don't know what I want to put on the inside of the card, but I'm going to call this done. I hope you've enjoyed this today. I don't know if I have managed to introduce anything new or any new techniques to you, but if I have, awesome. And if I haven't, thank you for being here and for supporting me. And if you've liked this video at all, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you feel like I can be of any benefit to you in your crafting journey. But you guys, you all be safe, be blessed. God is good all the time. Bye.